In South Africa, there was a time when a fence could decide your future. Not a prison wall, not a border between countries, just a fence. On one side, wealth, safety, electricity, freedom. On the other, poverty, police raids, and fear. The people separated by these fences spoke the same languages, walked the same streets, and lived under the same sky. But one thing divided them: race. What was apartheid? In 1948, South Africa officially introduced a system called apartheid. The word means separateness in Afrikaans. But apartheid was more than separation. It was a system designed to control every part of life based on race. White South Africans, who were a minority, controlled the government, land, economy, and police. Black South Africans, despite being the majority, were pushed into overcrowded townships and denied basic rights. Where you lived, who you married, where you worked, which school you attended, even which bench you sat on, was controlled by law. Entire neighborhoods were divided by roads, walls, and fences. Sometimes, just a few meters separated two completely different worlds. The fences that divided people. In many South African cities, fences became symbols of apartheid. They were not always massive walls. Sometimes they were simple wire barriers. But their meaning was powerful. On one side lived white families with running water, parks, and modern schools. On the other side lived black workers in crowded housing with core services. In places like Johannesburg and Cape Town, black workers were often allowed into white neighborhoods only to work as maids, gardeners, miners, or laborers. After work, many had to return to townships outside the city. Some workers carried passbooks. These documents controlled where black South Africans could travel or live. Without one, a person could be arrested immediately. Imagine needing permission to walk in your own country.
District 6 and forced removals. One of the most painful examples was a place called District 6 in Cape Town. District 6 was a vibrant, multicultural community. Black, mixed race, and Indian families lived together there for generations. But in 1966, the government declared it a white-only area. More than 60,000 people were forcibly removed from their homes. Houses were demolished. Families were separated. Communities disappeared almost overnight. The fence was not always physical. Sometimes it existed in laws, maps, and fear. Resistance and Nelson Mandela. Protests, police confrontations, young activists marching. But people resisted. Students protested. Workers organized strikes. Communities fought back. Mandela spent 27 years in prison for opposing apartheid. Around the world, millions demanded change. South Africa faced international pressure, sanctions, and growing unrest. The fences that once looked permanent were beginning to crack. One of the most famous leaders of the anti-apartheid movement was Nelson Mandela. The fall of apartheid. In 1994, South Africa held its first democratic election, where citizens of all races could vote. Nelson Mandela became the country's first black president. Officially, apartheid was over. The fences came down. The laws changed. But the effects of apartheid did not disappear overnight. South Africa today. Today, South Africa is free from apartheid laws. But many communities still feel the economic divisions created decades ago. In some cities, wealthy neighborhoods and poor townships still stand side by side, sometimes separated by roads, gates, or fences.
The physical barriers may be smaller now, but the history behind them still matters. A fence is just metal and wire. But in South Africa, it once represented power, fear, and inequality. The story of apartheid reminds us how easily humans can divide each other and how difficult healing can be. Because the most dangerous walls are not always the ones we can see. If you enjoyed this documentary, subscribe for more stories about history, politics, and human rights around the world.